everybody, welcome to Jacob's Quest, and today I've just finished watching Miss Marvel episode 5, and I gotta say, this episode's a weird one, and I think the show is, I don't know if the term spinning its wheels is necessarily where I want to go, or if it's just kind of, I don't know, it's in like this rough patch, I feel like, you know, this entire vacation to Pakistan feels like it was supposed to be a lot more interesting than it ended up being, and I don't know, somehow the show still feels like it's fast forwarding through all these moments that kind of seem like they should have spent more time with, and it would have been better for it. So yeah, this entire episode is mostly it starts out as a flashback following Kamala's grandmother as she meets her husband, and they, he's like, oh, you're a mysterious stranger, and they end up having a baby. And then one day, the other Jinn show up. I forget the lady's name, but she shows up, the evil lady. And she's like, oh, come on, you got the bangle, we're gonna finally go home. And then she decides, hey, we need to flee India, go to Pakistan on this train, but secretly it's because she wants to run away from her Jinn friends, I don't know. And in that process, while they're at the train station, Kamala's grandmother gets stabbed, which, okay, I didn't see that coming. I was like, all right, that's crazy. And she has the bangle on her daughter, which is Kamala's grandmother, and she says some words as she's like about to collapse because she just got stabbed. She says some words, and the bangle starts glowing, and then Kamala shows up. So now I'm not entirely sure, like, did Kamala show up because she said that, or was it because the bangle got stabbed with a knife last episode? So I'm not entirely sure what triggered this whole time travel thing that just happened, but either way, now Kamala's here. She's in the past, right, as we saw her at the end of the last episode. And basically she ends up just like we thought. She ends up she starts creating platforms, and then it turns into like little star particles that help her child grandmother back to her dad. And I gotta say, again, this whole time it felt like this was all being fast forwarded through. It was kind of weird, like it felt like this episode should have, I don't even know how long this episode was, but it felt like the episode needed to be longer, let us spend a little bit more time inside of each of these moments, because like the music was swelling and it felt like we're supposed to get these like big emotional beats, but I wasn't really feeling it, like I feel like, okay, this is all happening very quickly, and I'm not quite getting all these like emotional beats. I'm not feeling this that I'm supposed to be feeling. The great grandmother, she got stabbed, she's dying, and she's like, oh, you're here, you'll protect her. And yeah, the kid gets reunited with her dad, and then Kamala gets transported back. Now she's back in the present day. She's still like in the aftermath of this fight with the Jinn. And then as they wake up, a big portal is opening, a portal to their world, right? Like this is like the veil that's like separating their worlds. So it opens, and one of the Jinn goes up to touch it, and she turns to dust. She turns to dust, and so she's dead. It's like, oh, okay. And then the main evil lady Jinn, I can't remember her name. Kamran's mom. I'll say it that way. Kamran's mom. Anyways. She's like, oh, I can make it through. I can do this. I can get home, And then, again, the music is swelling, and it feels like I'm supposed to get this big emotional moment. And Kamala's like, no, you have a son, right? You don't leave your son. And then she's like, oh, you're right. I do have a son. I guess I won't leave him. And then she's like, look, I'm the only one who can close this. And she's like closing the portal, I guess. And then she also turns to dust. And like, you see her, this was kind of a weird, like the effect looked really cartoony. She turns to dust, and you see like her skeleton show for a second. So I don't know, it was really weird that like she is kind of like not evil at the last second, but then you still see her kind of brutally get killed with her skeleton popping out and stuff. I was like, okay. And again, it's all happening so fast, and I don't know if this is just me, but like it honestly feels like someone hit fast forward on my device. They didn't. I don't think Disney Plus even has that function, but it honestly feels like the pacing is just like erratic. It's just moving and moving, like they desperately need to move on. So the portal closes, and we see some of the particles and this was kind of weird. We see the particles go through the air and they hit Kamran, and at first I'm like, oh, so he's in Pakistan, he managed to fly all the way over here. And then the next time we see Kamran, he's back in New Jersey. He's talking with Kamala's friend, saying like, hey, I need to stay over, I didn't have anywhere else to go, you know, let me hang out here, right? And like, they're not really like friends, but you know, they kind of like have a couple moments there where they, you know, you can assume there's going to be a friendship there. But my thing is like, so was Kamran in Pakistan and then went back to New Jersey, or did those particles just fly all the way to New Jersey? It was kind of confusing, you know. I was like, wait, what? I need to look at this scene again, because he was walking down like this corridor, he gets hit by the particles, now he has powers, and the next time we see him, he's in New Jersey. So I'm like, how are these people who are wanted by Damage Control flying all the way over here and then flying back seemingly within just a couple hours? You know, like what's going on? I don't know. The editing, I think, for this show, somehow something happened here. I don't know what's going on. It's like the editing was rushed and they're like, screw it, he's in New Jersey again, here he is. You know, I don't know, very weird. So anyways, yeah, he's in New Jersey, or maybe he never left New Jersey, I don't know. He's visiting Kamala's friend. He's like, oh, I need to stay over here, my mom's still out there, she wouldn't leave me, which of course his mom is, you know, a skeleton now. And then we see a drone from Damage Control, and the drone straight up just, well, he attacks the drone, and then the giant explosion happens in the convenience store below them, and I don't know if that was the drone or if that was him somehow. He seems to have the same powers as Kamala. So I'm not entirely sure what happened there. I don't know why Damage Control would just straight up explode this civilian-owned building inside of the middle of New Jersey. A lot of you know, casualties and collateral damage that could happen there, so I don't know why Damage Control would do that. Kind of weird. But and then we see, you know, we go back to Kamala. She's still in Pakistan, so again, I don't know if Kamran flew there and then flew back already. Kind of weird, but she's still in Pakistan. And, you know, and kind of just going over pictures with the grandma and the mother, and you know, the mom the mom knows now that she is Light Bright, as they call it. They're like, oh, you're the light girl. And they seem to be kind of just on good terms now. You know, they were talking about how like, oh, you know, I didn't believe you, I didn't want to believe all this and that, and the grandma's like, oh, you should have listened to me, I knew this was all real. And yeah, everything seems to be going good, and that's it. That's like the end of the episode. So I don't know, the episode ends really suddenly after that explosion, because, you know, again, I think the editing is really weird in this episode. Like the friend says something like, you have powers too, and then like it cuts to black, and I'm like, wait, what? Like, yeah, it was really, really sudden. I don't know, this episode and the show in general, like, the bad guys, the main villains, you know, at least who we were supposed to think were the main villains, they seem to be dead now. And, you know, I guess the portal is closed, so I don't know if that's still a threat or not. You know, so I guess my question now is like, so what's the show gonna be about? Like, I mean, that wasn't the last episode, right? So what are we doing now? If the villains are gone and the portal is closed, I mean, Kamran's got powers now, so that's cool, but like, is he gonna become a villain, or what's happening, you know? Very interesting, very, very interesting. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on with this show or where it's going. Like, it started so strong. Like, those first, like, 3 episodes were, like, crazy strong episodes. But now, I don't know. This show seems to... I don't know where it's going. I don't know what's... It seems to be lost or something. And then it's also, like, rushing past all these plot points and all these emotional beats. I don't know if it, like, got edited to hell and, like this was supposed to be a much longer show. But it definitely feels like, you know, all of this stuff has been highly condensed to the point where, you know, we didn't get to spend much time with the grandma. So when she gets stabbed and she's dying and the music is swelling, I'm like, we barely just met this person, you know, like, and now she's gone. Okay. And then the villains are gone. Okay. They were convinced pretty quickly to like, oh wait, remember you have a son, don't you care about him? Like, oh yeah, you're right, I do. And now they're dead. Like, oh all right. I don't know. Very weird. The Jinn were not like great villains in the first place, but like now the show doesn't even have antagonists, you know? I can only assume, I guess maybe Kamran becomes the antagonist. I don't know. Cuz like what else happens now? What's the rest of the show? Is Damage Control the bad guys maybe? I guess. They didn't seem like they were. I mean, maybe that one specific blonde lady in Damage Control is supposed to be a bad guy. Maybe she's Hydra. I don't know. Maybe they'll pull something out like, oh, she's Hydra now. Like now she's evil. I don't know. It was very weird, very strange. The show, man, it's got such likable characters, and it started off really, really strong, and then it like these last 2 episodes, I think, have just been this kind of weird weak point. It feels like this episode and last episode could have been like one really strong episode if they were like put together and, you know, given room to breathe for each scene. But like instead we got 2 episodes that seem to be erratically paced and just way too fast. I don't know. I mean, look, obviously I'm gonna keep watching it. We're gonna see what's going on, but yeah, this show it just hasn't been as strong as those first 3 episodes were. And you know, hopefully now that I assume they're going back to Jersey, and you know, maybe things kind of liven up again. Maybe something about being in New Jersey like made the show better. I don't know. We'll find out. Anyways, let me know what you guys think about Miss Marvel episode 5. Yeah, 5. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.